Hey kids, I'm Scott Stovall from Keeper Action News, and I'm going to be reading chapter 11 from Dessert First, and the title of the chapter is I Don't Feel Good. So here we go. I was awake before the sun came up because I didn't feel very good. Something felt very wrong. Did I have a bad dream, or did I really eat all the double-decker bars? There was a big brown circle of drool on my pillow. The circle smelled like chocolate. Chunky licked my face, and he smelled like ham. And then I saw my fingers. They were covered with sticky brown and white stuff. I smelled it. The sticky brown and white stuff smelled like double-decker chocolate bars. I prayed that what I thought might have happened hadn't happened. I prayed that it wasn't true. I ran downstairs. I opened the fridge. Oh, crud. The lid was not on the box the right way. I opened it up. There was nothing inside but the turquoise paper. I had to sit down. What had I done? Then I remembered my hand. I remembered my hand raising bars out of the box. I remembered my hand putting bars in my mouth. I remembered my mouth chewing the bars. That's why I didn't feel good. I could not get caught. I needed a plan. I needed to plan before Mummy woke up. And then Chunky put out a paw. I think he wanted to remind me that we were in this together. But I knew I was in it alone. If only chocolate were death for humans instead of dogs, I'd be dead right now. If I were dead by now, I wouldn't need a plan. But I was alive, and I didn't have much time. I was pretty sure the Double D's were for a bake sale. That must have been why Mummy put the sign on the box. I had to believe it, because if I didn't believe it, I would not have any hope. The sun was coming up. Time was not on my side. Mummy would be downstairs soon. Holy crud. For sure, this was the worst thing I had ever done. If I got caught, the punishment would be the worst punishment ever. Okay. I had to get rid of Mummy's telltale turquoise paper that she uses for everything. I was afraid whoever bought the Double D's would recognize Mummy's turquoise paper when they opened the box. I crumpled it into a little ball and hid it in the bottom of the garbage. But what could I refill the box with? What did I have that weighed the same as 12 double-decker chocolate bars? The sun was getting brighter. I took the empty box downstairs to see what we had in the supply closet. Right next to the boxes of Sterno was a case of Guess Checks. I held one pad in my hand, and it seemed to be the right size and weight, so I started laying them side by side, 4 across and 2 down. I put the lid back, and it felt just about right, as best as I could remember. My heart was beating pretty badly. The sun was almost up, and I thought I might have a stroke. My hands were shaking as I put the lid back on with the note still attached. It was a relief to see that it pretty much looked like it did before, but I was nervous. I tucked the box right back in the fridge where I'd found it, and I convinced myself that whoever bought the Double D's would not be able to trace it to us. The Guess Checks didn't say Fondue Paris or anything like that. Then I heard footsteps on the second floor right above my head. I prayed for help. I sucked in my breath and waited. Then I heard a toilet flush, more footsteps, then nothing. Whew. I crawled up the stairs and back into my room. My heart was pumping fast, but I managed to get some clothes on. Then I waited in my room until 7:10 a.m., my usual wake-up time. I felt terrible in my stomach, and I had sweat all over, but I didn't want anybody to know. Like I normally would, I went downstairs to get my breakfast, even though I wasn't hungry. Mummy walked in the kitchen right after me, dressed and ready to go, and Charlie came right behind her. Daddy was still sleeping. "Hello, Dessert," she said. "Where are you going today, Mummy?" I asked, hoping she would mention the bake sale. "To Charlie's school," she said. "I'm helping parents today." "Anything special going on?" I said, trying not to let my voice shake. "Like a bake sale or anything like that?" I wanted to sound casual. "Not that I know of," said Mummy, "but I'm bringing rice for the sensory table." Huh? I thought I saw a note that there was some kind of bake sale today, I lied. "Nope, no sale at all, Dessert. What makes you so interested in bake sales anyway?" I felt like I was going to die. The Double D's had not been made for a bake sale. My voice came out a little higher than usual when I said, "Oh, you know, the duty drive got me thinking about raising money." Mummy didn't notice my voice. "We'll have to talk about that, honey. I saw that paper on the dining table." "Yeah," I said. I smiled at her, but it wasn't a real smile. "Hi, Pam," said Mummy when Pam came through the door a second later. "Wolfgang and Mushy are just about ready for breakfast, and Charlie and I should be home around lunchtime. Please make sure Dessert catches the bus, and if you have a chance, run these plates through the rinse cycle. We're doing something special tonight." "Something special?" I said. My voice was still high. "Yes, Dessert, something very special. I'll see you after school." Mummy blew me a kiss and left with Charlie. When I arrived at school, I mumbled, "Good morning, Mrs. Howdy Doody." "Good morning, Dessert. Ask me why I am doing especially well today." "Okay," I said. It didn't seem like I had a choice. "Why?" "Today is Wednesday," she said. "Wednesdays are one of my favorite days of the week because you never know what you might learn by Friday." Then she rang her bell. "My dear happy learners," she said to the whole class, "on my way to school this morning, I thought to myself, if we all work together, soon we'll have a tree house. And the view from that tree house is going to be all the more glorious because we're making sacrifices to build it. So tell me, how many of you have decided what you're going to give up?" Everybody but me raised their hands. "Just as I thought," she said. "You're an exceptional class. I'd like you all to write down what you're giving up on slips of paper, and if you haven't decided yet, you can write down your possibilities." Then she put on her snowball slippers and marched around the classroom, handing out the colored slips of paper. Usually, I liked her slippers, but not today. When all 21 of us had handed in our slips, Mrs. Howdy Doody read them out loud. "Makeup, Jeezy Lou. Tater tots, Evan C. It's a surprise, Amy D. Action figures, Billy B. Action figures, Donnie B. Hot dogs, Tammy S. Chips, Jean S. Computer games, Charlotte R. Stickers, Sam C. Making knots, Sharon S. Scissors, Jack S. Remote control trucks, Marshall W. Now and Laters, Bonnie A. Gumballs, Emily V. Racing my guinea pig, Pat D. Eating in the family room, Grace E. Batteries, Lois Z. Barbies, Melissa R. Mean faces, Michael A. Leaving my shoes out, Josh M. When Mrs. Howdy Doody got to my slip, she said, "Dessert? I didn't know you were under the weather. Do you need to go see Nurse Thomas?" "No." "We'll speak in a moment, Dessert, but for now, I'd like you all to close your eyes until I say treehouse." I closed my eyes, and it sounded like Mrs. Howdy Doody was rearranging the furniture. Several minutes later, she said, "Treehouse," and we opened our eyes, and there before us was a big tree with a treehouse built in it and a sign on top that said, "Together, we'll build a treehouse." Then Mrs. Howdy Doody tied a brown ribbon around each slip except for mine and hung them up. Looking at that tree with everybody being so darn jolly made me burst into tears. Mrs. Howdy Doody came over to my desk, handed me my slip, and said, "Why don't you feel good?" The cries got worse, and I couldn't catch my breath. I put my head on my desk. Mrs. Howdy Doody whispered, "Do you want to talk?" I managed to get a breath, and I said, "Mrs. Howdy Doody, I am going to get caught." "You're going to get caught? Remember Chunky?" "How could I forget Chunky?" she said. We had a midnight snack last night, and I ate every one of the double-decker chocolate bars Mummy had in the fridge, even though I wasn't supposed to. And that's not all. What else went wrong, Dessert? I covered it up. Okay, she said, first things first. Do your parents know that you are the double-deckers? Not yet. Or that you ate the double-deckers? Not yet. Are you sorry? Yes. Do you want to say you're sorry, but you don't know how? Sort of. I can help you, Mrs. Howdy Doody said, because I know how you feel. And sometimes it helps when you know that someone else understands how you feel. Come on, we'll speak in the tulip garden. And that is chapter 11. Hope you enjoyed it, kids. Have a great day. See you later.